Faceless digital marketing is extremely popular at the moment, and you might be wondering, well, should I start a faceless social media account or a faceless blog or a faceless website, or should I be face forward? How do I know if this is the right move for me? So let's talk about what a faceless account and digital presence is and why it may benefit you. With a faceless account, you can still gain a large following online. You can still promote yourself and your business, your products, and you can build meaningful connections and relationships based on shared passions and values. The mental health benefits are significant, encouraging a healthier relationship with the platform and promoting self expression without the anxiety associated with external validation. You can enjoy things like your privacy and staying anonymous. And you don't have to show up online with your face if you're introverted. It's okay to value your privacy and prefer to keep a low profile online. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people are scared to start a social media presence because they're worried about comments or negative reactions, and this isn't something you have to be concerned about if you have a faceless account. You shouldn't have to forfeit your privacy online for success and for the ability to build a business. You can be effective at selling online without disclosing your face. Entrepreneurs and business owners who might be more introverted or uncomfortable with personal exposure can still find success selling in digital marketing and can thrive on social media while maintaining a level of being anonymous. Maybe you don't mind showing your face every now and then, but you get anxious or overwhelmed at the thought of having to do a silly social media dance in front of strangers. That's okay. There's a way to strike a balance. You can have your face show sometimes a little bit, be mostly faceless. It doesn't have to be all or the other. It can be freeing to have an account where no one knows who you are behind the screen. Maybe you're an employee and you don't want your boss to know that you started another business on the side, or maybe you're worried about family and friends' reactions. It can be easier to write and create content when there's less eyes following every single move. And it gives you this ease knowing that your friends and family and coworkers and boss aren't necessarily following along knowing that it's you. There can be lots of reasons why a faceless digital marketing presence could really benefit you. What is faceless marketing and why should you consider going faceless online? Faceless marketing refers to establishing an online presence and monetizing it without showing your actual face or revealing your private information and real world identity. This online persona that you're going to showcase will allow you to show your brand and your products and your content without tying them visually to your identity in the real world. There are so many perks to marketing your business anonymously. Perks like increased safety and privacy for you and your loved ones. Also, the ability to focus on your brands and content rather than your appearance or the way that you show up online. You have a freedom to be authentic and express your thoughts without worrying about people in your real life seeing those and linking them back to you. This avoidance of appearance based judgment gives you the flexibility to switch up your content and niche over time and show what you're an expert in and show your talent in a way that it deserves to be seen and shared with the world without worrying about your physical appearance. This has nothing to do with what you have to offer in order to enrich other people's lives, and you're able to show that through faceless content. You are able to use your skills. There is no face required. This is the great thing about faceless marketing. It also gives you time flexibility. You can pre-schedule posts and no one needs to worry about is it night or day or anything like that, and you won't be disrupting your brand's flow because you can create content using B-roll and make it ahead of time. You also are able to stay consistent through your brand even as things change because you're not showing your appearance and your personal information. You can build a recognizable brand and a lucrative business that fulfills your wildest dreams, all with faceless content, and I'm going to show you how. Let's talk about choosing a niche. You want to start by listing niches that are genuinely popular on Instagram and social media. For example, travel, pets, fashion, food, wellness, health, exercise, making money online. These are all really great evergreen niches that will continue to be popular as time goes on. Make sure you use Instagram's search feature to explore hashtags that are related to the niches that interest you. Take note on the number of posts and the quality of the top performing content. Make sure you don't just follow the crowd. Make sure you look for a niche that genuinely interests you and your passions. Your enthusiasm is going to shine through if people can feel your passion for your niche. Niche marketing is a highly targeted form of advertisement. That's what your social media page is. It's a big advertisement for whatever you're trying to sell. With niche marketing, your business is able to promote your products and services to a small, specific, well-defined audience. If you're selling a product, you don't need a million people to purchase it. You need to speak to your ideal client, and they'll purchase from you because they know that you're speaking to them. Choosing a niche is like picking the right foundation for a house or the right soil for a plant. Everything else is based on whether the well-chosen niche is something that you are able to stand behind and get other people to stand behind as well. One of the things that makes faceless pages really lack traction is a lack of a well-defined niche. But you're able to gain traction when you have this cornerstone of influence and you're able to create your content around this niche and your monetization strategy as well. When you jump into a new business venture without clarity and purpose, it is a recipe for disaster, for quick failure and burnout. This is why our first step when we're talking about creating faceless content is your why. Why is this your niche? Why are you choosing your ideal audience to be who you are? Who is your target audience? And we'll talk about that in just a minute. You want to understand your motivations before you determine what to sell and how to sell it and who to sell it to. It is so crucial to understand your why, and it's going to be deep. So you need to reach in, figure out yourself why you're doing this and where your passion flows from, and this will speak to your target audience. What originally attracted you to your online business? What impact do you want to make on the world and the people who you're interacting with online? What topics or industries set your creative soul on fire? You want to be honest with yourself, so you're starting from a place of truth. The most successful businesses solve real life problems from an authentic place of passion, and yours is no different. Monetization is the end game for most faceless social media accounts. It's the point where your page transitions from a passion project or just a hobby into a legitimate income generating business. Most people who start faceless pages start them as a way to achieve freedom or financial freedom. And the way to do this is by monetizing your account. You can do this in a lot of different ways, but we're going to talk about 3 different ways today: affiliate marketing, selling digital products and services, and done for you digital products. Affiliate marketing is where you partner with brands or companies that offer products or services that are relevant to your niche. And this is important. They need to be relevant. Promote these products on your page, and then you earn a commission for every sale you make through your unique affiliate link. Make sure that you choose affiliate programs that align with your brand's values and are likely to resonate with your audience. Also, transparency in affiliate links is so key. It is always important to disclose your affiliate relationship to your followers. Not only is this a legal requirement, but it establishes trust because you're telling people, yes, I'm recommending this service to you. Yes, I'm making money from it, but I'm only doing that because I feel like you will gain value from what I'm showing you. This is a great way to build trust as a faceless account. Another way to monetize your account is by creating and selling your own digital products. Things like ebooks or courses or memberships, printables. Make sure again that they're relevant to your niche. Use your Instagram page or TikTok page as a marketing channel to direct followers to your online store or landing page. You can offer freebies and discounts to your followers as a way to incentivize them to purchase from you. This not only boosts sales, but it also strengthens community loyalty. There are stores out there that sell a mixture of affiliate marketing, digital marketing of their own products, and also done for you marketing. Done for you marketing is products that come with resellable rights. So these can be master resale rights where you keep 100% of the product, but you can't alter it at all. You just sell it as is. This is great because the work is done for you. It's very easy. All you have to focus on is sales. You don't have to create the product, you don't have to market the product, you just have to sell it to your followers. There are also products with private label rights. These products require some tweaking and a little bit of rebranding, but then again, you can sell them for 100% profit. You can sell these without ever showing your face. And this is really great because even if the product is face forward, it will be somebody else's product originally. And as you either rebrand it with PLR or sell it as is with MRR, you still get 100% of the profit without ever having to show your face on your account. When you're creating faceless content, it's more important than ever to know who you are speaking to because you are creating your content for a specific viewer. I want to challenge you and think about your ideal follower. Do you know who your ideal follower is? You really need to nail down who your ideal follower is because with every reel you make, you want to make sure you're speaking to this person. Your ideal follower will usually be someone similar to you or someone you would get along with well, someone like your sister or your brother or a friend or your spouse. Take 2 to 3 minutes, open up a note app on your phone, and brainstorm. I want you to write down everything you know about your ideal follower. Here are some questions to get you started. What's their gender? How old are they? Where do they live? What do they do? What are their hobbies? What are their goals and their passions? What are their dreams? What do they need from you? And how could you help them achieve it? How could they feel seen or heard through your content? Make sure you know the answers to these questions, and I promise this will help you create content that resonates, adds value, and attracts the right kinds of people to your page. You need to be able to build trust and relatability and have people who are your ideal followers be able to see themselves in you as a faceless brand. In order to create this community and this connections with your ideal follower, you want to make sure that you're responding to DMs and comments with the same honest relatability that you would with a real life friend. Just because you're a faceless account doesn't mean you can't form connections and relationships online. You want to make sure you're asking thoughtful questions and sparking sharing and relatable interests of people in your comments. Comments foster faster bonds than most other things online. And I can't stress enough the benefits of things like responding quickly to comments and DMs and responding with things like even audio messages if you feel comfortable sharing your voice in a way that they can hear that there's a real person behind the brand. Audio messages are personal and help your customers see that there's another person that they can relate with on the other side. You also want to make sure that your interactions are consistent, your tone of voice is consistent, and make sure that this is a great way to keep people engaging over time with your content. And as they do this, more and more people will want to be in that little group as well. Those people who are supporting you and engaging with you and getting that engagement back from you. This makes people feel like they're part of your community. And even in a faceless account, you want to build a community. By bonding with followers through intimate interactions, you are able to build that trust that no matter if it's a faceless account or not, is needed in order to grow online. So, how do you show up faceless on Instagram or TikTok or other social medias while having enough content to put out there but not filming or recording yourself? There is a great way to do this. You can either record the B roll footage yourself or use content banks, which are websites online that have pre recorded B roll footage that you can purchase. B-roll footage is basically background content that you use as the video for your reel. This has become a really popular method for reels, which is good because it means less work for you. It also means you don't have to show your face in your reels if you don't want to. It's easy and less time consuming to just use B-roll that's either pre-recorded by you or that you purchase, and don't underestimate the power of a short basic clip of something random. Examples of B-roll footage include things like walking on a street, sitting on the computer, recording your feet as you're walking, pushing your stroller on a walk, pouring a cup of water or coffee or a protein shake, a short clip of the sunset or the waves rolling on the beach. Basically anything random that's going on in your life. Collect 5 to 2 clips throughout your day. You can designate one day a week to kind of record these, or just kind of pick and choose when you're walking along, like these trees look beautiful, or my shoes are cute today. I'll record my feet walking down the sidewalk. Add them to an album in your phone so they're easy to find and pick from when you go to create your reels. Some other examples are showing your morning routine, food that you're about to eat, maybe at a restaurant, outside views, views of trees or a lake, views of your hands typing. If you're okay with showing your hands, maybe your hands on a phone, you can use a tripod to film these. Views of a fireplace or a blanket on a couch, and vacations are a really great way to get a lot of B-roll footage, just really beautiful vacation views. When it comes to creating faceless content on social media, or any content really, your hook is key. This is a quick, catchy phrase or word that you use to get your viewer to stop scrolling and pay attention. You have less than 2 seconds to catch someone's attention when you pop up on their explore page or their feed, and a strong hook is going to be what catches their attention. This should be done in 3 ways: your on-screen text, your visuals, and the start of your caption. Your on-screen text is going to be the first words that the viewer sees when they're scrolling by your reel. Even if you're doing a face forward account, it should be the same way. The text should be on the screen from the moment the reel starts. It shouldn't appear later. It needs to be there. So when it pops up for people, they're already reading the hook within a millisecond of seeing the reel. The job of this hook is to get them to stop their scroll and to watch your reel. Then your visuals are what's going to keep them there. They're going to want to watch the actual video itself to see what's going on. And then the start of your caption. This is the first word or words of your caption, and the job of this hook is to get them to actually read your caption. And your caption's where all your information about the digital product or digital marketplace or store that you have, all the information that's going to get them to go there is going to be in your caption. The better your caption is, the more time is spent reading it. The more time that people spend reading your caption, the more watch time your reel will get. The more watch time your reel gets, the more it's going to be pushed out to more people. It's the same on other social media platforms. Watch time equals more people seeing your content. So a well thought out hook, visual hook, and caption hook are going to keep people viewing your content and getting it pushed out to an even wider audience. So, how do you grow quickly on social media without posting your face? This is a question that might come up a lot when you're thinking about being a faceless creator. You want to be posting savable and shareable content. The goal of each of your reels or TikTok videos should be that you want them to either be super shareable or super savable, ideally both. Engagement is what causes the Instagram and TikTok and other social media algorithms to keep pushing your content out to more people. And the most important engagement right now is sharing and saving. Shareable content is what makes your ideal follower think, this is so me, or this reminds me of this person. I need to send it to them to say, hey, isn't this so me? Or hey, this reminds me of you. The content is specific enough to your niche that it makes them feel seen, heard, or understood, and then they want to share it. Savable content is providing something of value that your ideal follower wants to come back to. This can be knowledge, encouragement, guidance, advice, ideas, anything that they would want to save and come back to later. Your main message is the message you're aiming to get across with the content you're creating. You have 2 options. You can put the meat of your main message as on-screen text in the reel or video itself, or you can include it in your caption and use a quick call to action to send people to your caption. Remember, your main message is content that is either shareable or savable. So these are a few questions you can ask yourself. Are you providing value to your ideal client or follower? Is your message relatable to your ideal client or follower? Does your message give ideas, encouragement, guidance, or other advice of some sort? And your main message doesn't need to do all of these things, but it should do at least one of them. In deciding whether or not to put your main message on screen or in your caption, here's a few things to consider. Only include it on screen if you could do it without overcrowding the screen with text. You don't want the text to be hard to read or making the video too long so people can get all the way through it. But do include it on the screen if you can put it in a way where the text pops up with the beat dropping and the music, and people are able to get through the text in a fair amount of time instead of getting out of it because they don't want to keep having to read. Word walls are really popular where you just cover the whole reel with text, and this is a really great way to get people to read that meat of the message without having to go through your caption, but make sure it's not font that's too small in order to put too much information on there. Even if you do just like a small amount of text at a time and have it pop up, again, make sure it's not too much at once. If it's too much text, use a call to action and get people to read either the rest of what you have to say or all of what you have to say in your caption. You want to use click here or read the caption or things like that in order to get people to go down, read your caption, and get the meat of your message from there. A call to action is just that. You're asking people to perform some kind of action with your content. Maybe you're asking them to read the caption, or like, or share, or save, or follow, or comment a specific phrase. Your call to action is that gentle reminder of the engagement you want your viewer to use. The call to action in your reels or any other kind of social media content is so important to increase engagement, watch time, and follower conversion. Similarly to your hook, you have a couple different options when it comes to your call to action, and you can feel free to use one or both of these in each and every reel. Your on-screen call to action can be either sending your viewers to your caption for more information or asking them to comment a specific word or send you a DM with a specific phrase. This is a great way to encourage engagement without having people necessarily have to read your caption, or encouraging them to read your caption if that's where the rest of your call to actions are. Your in-caption call to actions are where you include things like follow for more or save this content to come back to it later or share with a friend who is similar to yourself. Use your caption call to action to direct viewers to take these specific actions, like sharing their point of view in the comment or commenting a specific keyword that you have set up to maybe an automation that sends them to your freebie or your store. Call to actions are crucial for getting engagement, and engagement is crucial for getting your content seen by more people. Your caption should start with a strong hook that gets people to expand the caption to read the whole thing. When a caption shows up on a reel on Instagram, for example, it will say the first line and then dot, dot, dot. This first line needs to be your hook. It can even be as simple as here with an arrow pointing down, but you want to encourage people to click that dot, dot, dot to read the rest of your main message that's in your caption. Also, make sure that your caption, if it's more than a few sentences long, is separated into lines with lots of spaces in between. It's a lot easier for people to focus on 1 to 2 sentences at a time versus trying to read a long paragraph of text in their Instagram app. Make sure to include a hook, call to action, hashtags, and keywords, and your signature at the end telling them why they should follow you. Also, make sure that you're storytelling, sharing your experiences, and being vulnerable and honest. Your caption is where people are going to get to know you as a faceless content creator, because the reel itself, with it just being B-roll, they might feel a little bit of a disconnect, but if you really are authentic in your caption, this is where people are going to feel that connection and gain trust with you, and you're going to be able to convert viewers into followers by building that through your captions. Make sure you use emojis, but don't overdo it. If your caption's catchy and engaging and decently long, separate it with spaces and put emojis near each and every one of these lines of text, this will really help separate the text out and get people to read for longer. Also, remember, hashtags are not dead. A lot of people will claim that they are, but many professionals are still using, up to 10 hashtags. And there's a lot of content that people find using these hashtags as a search term. Hashtags are used for searching. You want to be searchable. So make sure you're including up to 10 hashtags. And the reality is that hashtags are important, but even more so is keywords. These are a really big emphasis, and you want to include these in your caption. You want to make sure that your on-screen text and your caption contains relevant keywords so the algorithm pushes your content out to the right people. If your caption is short, you can just include a small paragraph of keywords right at the end, up to 10 keywords. Make them related to the content that you're showing and related to your niche. Let's go ahead and make a faceless reel together. Go to add a new reel on Instagram, then click on your faceless B-roll content. You can get this either on Canva or on a content bank website, or again, you can film it yourself. Then we're going to go next, and here's where we add our text. Here we want to have our hook at the very beginning so that people know the reason that they're coming. The hook should be on the screen from the get-go. Then any other information we want to have out there, let's just write other text. This information goes next. And then our call to action goes at the bottom. This is just a really great format. Remember, when you're adding text on Instagram, you want to make sure your text stays within the boundaries. So these yellow lines on the side, no one's going to see that text if it's in the yellow lines. Again, the bottom line right here, the one that's turning blue, anything below that people won't be able to see, and anything above this line people won't be able to see as well. So make sure your text is within the boundaries, and you can center it on the center line. Now that we have our text, maybe I want the text to show up a little bit after the hook. I just want my hook on the screen. So we're going to come down into the editor. We'll leave the hook. The other text I want to pop up as the reel goes along. And I'd like this reel to only be about 4 seconds in length to make it loop for people more quickly. Ideally, your reels should be between 3 and 7 seconds. So people will see our hook. Then they're going to see the other text and our call to action, and it will loop again for them. So the last part of the actual reel process is going to be adding your trending audio. When you go into your audios, it will have recommended audios, but you want to go to your saved folder, and you want to save trending audios that you see people using and that are popular when you see them. So what you can do is go to a reel, click on the trending audio, press save, and it will show up in this saved folder. Go ahead and click on any of these audios that you want to use, and then you're going to make your reel cover, which if you want to just leave it as the picture of the reel, that's fine, as long as people can read your hook. Otherwise, you can make a cover for your reel in an editor like Canva. Also, you want to make sure that you are writing a really well thought out caption as well. Here's a checklist that you can use to make sure your reels, TikTok videos, and other short form content is on point and will reach who you want it to. Make sure you have a strong hook on the screen, in the visuals, and in the first sentence of your caption. Make sure you're using calls to action on the screen and in your caption. Make sure that you are using trending audio. Make sure you have a cover photo and that it's on brand. And if you're not using cover photos, make sure that people can see the hook and know what your content is about without the cover photo. Make sure that you have a signature in your caption, a way that people can know who you are and what information you're providing. So make sure you include something like, make sure to follow you, whatever your username is, for more information about, and then talk about your niche. Make sure that you're using different transitions and different types of video and B-roll in a way that keeps people engaged. Think about your ideal follower. Who did you create this reel for? Would it be interesting to them? And is this something that they would want to share or save? You want it to be engageable for your ideal follower, and you want to always be keeping them in mind. Here are some more tips to keep in mind when it comes to creating faceless content online. Your branding and your font choice. Make sure that you're using consistent fonts and colors throughout your content. This will make your brand recognizable to people. We want our brand to be something that people will recognize before even seeing your username or knowing who created the content. They'll know it just based off of the video that you use, the B-roll, the type of font, and the colors. You want to make sure that you use fonts that are easy to read and place them in the top 1/3 of your video. If people have to squint or strain or the words blend into the background, they're just going to keep on scrolling, and that is the last thing we want. We want to make sure that text is easy to read and is not covered up by things like your username or the start of the caption or the graphics on the screen. Remember, your content should be between 5 and 7 seconds long, and ideally sometimes even less if it's something that can be read quickly. You want to make sure that you're not using tons of filters and all this crazy like video that's flashing a lot or anything like that. Keep it basic. Keep your B-roll basic. You can have videos that are kind of transitioning into others, but make sure it's not too big and flashy and in people's faces. You also want to make sure that you're saving as you go. Save it as a draft so that you have an extra copy in case something happens. Instagram and TikTok have glitches all the time, and as a creator, you don't want to lose what you've been working on. You can also use these drafts to schedule it in advance, and you can create drafts and have your posts scheduled so that you don't have to be online all the time and attached to your phone. Make sure you're also paying attention to your insights. As a creator, it's important to see how your reels are performing and move forward based off of that. Don't keep creating content if it's not performing well, and create more content that's like the content that is performing well. Remember, it's not about likes. I know it feels good to see those little hearts and see a whole bunch of likes, but honestly, that is not what pushes content out. You want engagement like shares, saves, comments, people getting into your direct messaging. That's what's important. So make sure that you're responding to comments. Take some of your free time and go through these comments and respond to them. This will keep people coming back to your reels and improve your engagement rate over time. You also want to engage with your followers through things like DMs. Keep it simple. You don't have to go and send out a whole bunch of messages or cold messaging. You just want authentic conversation that keeps people engaging with your comments and in your DMs. If you're in people's DMs, Instagram and TikTok are much more likely to show your content to these people in the future. And make sure you're not overthinking it. Content has a way of really stressing people out because they feel like it needs to be perfect before they can post. But what's more important is that you're posting. You want to be staying consistent, posting daily, ideally at the beginning at least, so that you know what kind of content your audience likes to consume and you can go based off of that. It's really important that you're not overthinking it and that you're just getting your posts out there so that you can learn and people can learn from you. There are 3 things that all successful faceless accounts do and do well. Number 1, they establish trust with their followers. Without showing your face, it can be hard for people to trust that what you're saying is truthful, so you just have to get creative. Make sure you're showing a side of yourself without having to reveal your identity by being transparent, sharing your successes, and interacting with people in your stories. Maybe you feel comfortable sharing where you're from or things that you like to do. You don't have to tell them specifics about you as an individual, but maybe just about your interests or your hobbies. Interacting with people in your stories and your DMs is a great way for them to see your human side and to know that you're a person behind the faceless account. Also, you want to curate a specific aesthetic so people recognize your Instagram Reels or your TikToks before they ever click on them and see who's posting. This is an essential part of establishing your brand identity because without your face, people aren't necessarily going to recognize if every single one of your content pieces looks different, that it's coming from you. And you want to establish a very strong brand as a faceless account because you don't have your face to kind of hide behind. The brand needs to be the aesthetic and the information you're providing and what you're showing your audience on your content. And lastly, you just need to be able to really create quality content. As your account grows and people are engaging with your content, they are going to want to see the quality continue to progress and get better. Before designing a post, ask yourself, what value am I providing to my audience? Is this something that they're going to want to save to come back to later? Is this content that my audience is going to want to share with other people? These are the three things that successful faceless accounts do day in and day out.